Hey everyone, so here we go once again. A new day and a new set of football stories from players whose hearts we thought were cold as ice, could not help but shed a tear or two over the mention of their kids. And then there's this story about a player who's returned to a club where he played some of the best football of his playing, is saying that he just wanted to go there for a bit and doesn't agree with the notion that it was a romantic idea to begin with. Milan are in love with the player they brought in on loan in January and want to keep him. Is Roman Abramovich willing to do a deal? An Italian giant is reportedly looking to end its association with one of its former players. Well, it was always going to happen. A veteran tactician from Italy has decided to leave his current club, stating that he needs a reboot. Quite a few interesting stories, no? So sit back, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon and make sure you never miss out on anything that gets posted on one of the most actively growing football channels on YouTube. Cesare Prandelli. Cesare Prandelli has been in football management since 1997, and over the course of his career he's managed the likes of Roma, Fiorentina and the Italian national side. As a player he conquered Italy with Juventus and also won the Champions League with them. As a manager he didn't really win a lot, but was always considered one of the most respected managers in the country, helping many teams punch above their weight. This season he was managing Fiorentina, his second spell in charge of the club. Sadly though, the 63-year-old has stepped down from football management, admitting that a dark cloud has developed inside him. The Italian says that he's going through profound distress and is now going to step away from football, revealing that he can no longer give 100% to the game. Prandelli says that he no longer believes in the life that he's living and just wants to stop things and rediscover his true self. We can only wish all the happiness in the world for the veteran tactician. Deschamps not unhappy with Chelsea players' situation. Ever since Thomas Tuchel arrived in Stamford Bridge, everyone stopped making fun at the Blues' expense. Indeed, the Londoners are now on a 14-game unbeaten streak and are in with a great chance to finish inside the top 4. Scoring against them is no longer easy, and a lot of chances have been made to boot. However, as is the case with most changes, some players do get the wrong end of the stick. N'Golo Kante, for instance, is not having a great time these days, with the German tactician preferring a midfield partnership of Jorginho and Mateo Kovacic. The France international might have limited attributes, but the things he does on the field, no one in the Chelsea squad can do. However, due to his recent injury record, Tuchel has been very careful with how he uses the two-time Premier League winner. The German is aware that Kante's work rate can be physically taxing, so he's not started him in every game, and Didier Deschamps is a big admirer of Tuchel's approach. While Lampard would use him as much as possible, Kante's injury record means that you need to be really smart with how you use him, and the former PSG manager knows exactly what he's doing. The Brendan Conundrum. Leicester City are in a good place. The Foxes are getting closer to sealing a return to Champions League football next season and are in the semi-final of the FA Cup for the first time since 1982. And they've done all this without their injured stars such as James Maddison, Harvey Barnes and Grant Justin. Injuries mess up the squads, but Brendan Rodgers has done an excellent job to ensure that the team's high-flying status isn't impacted. In the last few weeks, he's used a two-man strike force which has worked wonders. It is quite strange that not many people in the media talk about Rodgers, who's definitely one of the best managers in England. While you can't say that he plays a particular brand of football as his trademark, what he does well is that he's able to adapt to different situations, and this is what makes Leicester a really tough side. Why don't we talk about Brendan Rodgers more often? Apparently, Tottenham are eager to bring him over once the Jose Mourinho association goes south. But would Rodgers actually want to go to London, given that the Spurs are in 6th place in the league and his team is nearly assured of Champions League football? What do you think? What about Ole? So for quite a while, a lot of football fans have made Man United man Ole Gunnar Solskjaer a source of ridicule. The Norwegian arrived at Old Trafford following the sacking of Jose Mourinho and has had a mixed spell according to many. However, it should be noted that the former striker is on the brink of guiding the club to back-to-back top 4 positions, something that's become quite a task ever since Sir Alex Ferguson retired. In fact, United have done fairly well against the bigger sides, but for one reason or another, people still don't feel that Ole is the right man for the job. Of course, he doesn't boast an extensive resume, but completely rejecting everything he's done at the club would be an unfair assessment in our books. United are far from the finished product, we can all agree to that. The team needs a few more signings in order to start fighting for top honours. At the same time, Solskjaer has been forced to rely heavily on Bruno Fernandes to get the job done. And David Beckham, who played alongside the baby-faced assassin during their time at Manchester United, feels that his old teammate is doing an incredible job at the club. Beckham, who is a co-owner of MLS outfit Inter Miami, was Solskjaer's teammate for 7 years and says that the Norwegian has done a really good job and he's been in the game long enough to be able to take any kind of criticism. Obviously, there are going to be setbacks here and there. The current team still lacks a few elements to rival the likes of City or Liverpool, but once the Red Devils manager is able to land a few more of his targets, he is likely to land them some silverware. Fikayo Tomori to Milan. Tomori made the right call to seal a loan move to AC Milan earlier this season, with the English defender desperately needing more game time to continue his development. He was never going to have that at Chelsea, but under Stefano Pioli, the youngster has truly come into his own. Milan are second in the league standings at present and are keen on exercising the option of making the move permanent. The player on his part is also eager to go down that road, so don't be surprised if Tomori becomes a Milan player for the next few years. Trouble in Tottenham. So Spurs are not in a good place right now. They're 6th in the league standings, they're not playing the best football, and Jose Mourinho might be sacked, given how abject the displays have been. Fortunately, fans have been saved of the boredom by not being able to attend the games inside the club's shiny new stadium. Last summer, when Gareth Bale made his return on a season-long loan spell, a lot of people praised the move as the return of the prodigal son. But those phrases were just that, just phrases that were used to sell the idea of a former player returning to his old stomping grounds and guiding the team to a new era of prosperity and silverware. The Welsh international struggled with form and fitness and then started scoring some goals. It was widely believed that the North Londoners would make a permanent move. Sadly though, Bale has shattered those dreams by revealing he doesn't want to stay with Spurs beyond the current campaign. The experienced winger is eager to return to his parent club Real Madrid and says that he just needed to move away from the Santiago Bernabeu to get a fresh perspective. Wow, we do feel sorry for the Spurs fans who were eager to see their former star return and do well, only to find out that Tottenham was nothing more than a rebound for the player. Heartbreaking, but that's not it. Harry Kane has been the team's most consistent performer in recent memory. The England international loves scoring goals, and it would be a major disappointment if he didn't win any trophy in his career. And is he ever going to win anything of note at Spurs? At the moment, it doesn't look like it. Real Madrid are apparently looking into the possibility of signing Kane, and could make their move, since they feel that convincing him to join the club would be much easier than Haaland or Mbappe. Kane would definitely welcome the idea of a new challenge that might help him win some trophies. At his age, Harry Kane deserves to play for a team that guarantees regular success. He can't have that at Spurs. And if there's no Champions League football next season, don't be surprised if the mercurial striker decides to hand in a transfer request. When God cries. Okay, so what's your take on larger-than-life figures getting overwhelmed by emotions and starting to cry? Remember that Friends episode when everyone accused Chandler of having a heart made of ice because he would never show any kind of emotion, only to see him break down at everything? Well, if you look at Zlatan and watch some of his previous interviews, you would know that the legendary Swede is not one of those people who is guided by their emotions. The Milan striker has quite a tough exterior and backs himself to achieve things that only few players in football history would have achieved. So, it was quite a sight seeing him cry during an emotional press conference ahead of Sweden's World Cup qualification game. The veteran striker has 2 sons, Maximilian, 14, and Vincent, 12. And the striker admitted during the question and answers round that his youngest son was extremely upset when his father left home to reunite with the national side. One journalist asked him how the family reacted when he made the decision to come out of retirement. To this, Zlatan admitted that his youngest son cried a lot. Ibra himself couldn't fight his tears and broke down. This just goes to show you that at the end of the day, we're all human, and no matter how tough we appear to be, we're never far from our emotions getting the better of us.